This is the Hub on Hollywood. I'm James.
I'm Jamie. And we love movies. We'll try to sync that up, James. So we're having, a little bit of sound issues, but I can hear the love of movies from across the internet, across, 93, and I think we'll be able to knock this out.
Yeah, no delay can slow down our passion for movies.
Right, exactly. And, there you go.
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of The Hub on Hollywood. If you are watching us, thank you so much. Give us a like, please subscribe, smash that subscribe button. If you're listening to us on any of the major podcasting streaming services like iHeartRadio, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, you will find us there. And we're on the social medias at Hub on Hollywood on Instagram and Facebook. Give us a like, give us a follow, share us with your uncle. We're the real news, not fake news over here.
Oh, God. Yeah.
No.
It's a lot of pressure.
No pressure at all. But talking about big news, we certainly have our fair share of it. And one of the, I guess, biggest surprises that we saw was a Disney favorite, a Marvel darling, a Marvel of her own, Scarlett Johansson. She is creating shockwaves by suing Disney, of all people. We're going to go into why she's doing it and what the response we've been seeing from around the MCU, Marvel world, and the industry entertainment.
She's a superhero in real life, apparently, because really, who else is standing up to Disney and, keeping them to task and all that? So we'll have more on that. We're also talking about a few things, including Jungle Cruise. You watched it.
Yeah, I just watched it. It's on Disney Plus on Premium Access, and it's also in theaters, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Emily Blunt. I just watched it. I have my thoughts. I have my opinions. Is it a smooth sailing ride, or is it a turbulent, bumpy slog of a movie? We'll find out. As well as a role that saved Dave Bautista's career and possibly his life, being a little dramatic, but we'll get into that. We're going to react to the House of Gucci trailer, and we got those casting calls for you. But first, let's go right into this whole Scarlett Johansson versus Disney thing. This may be a bigger fight than what she had with Thanos.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The drama, James. The drama. Yeah, bigger than Thanos, right? So actress Scarlett Johansson has filed a lawsuit with the Los Angeles Superior Court saying that Disney breached her contract when they released the latest Black Widow film onto streaming services, onto the Disney Plus, simultaneously with the theatrical release. She says this was a big no-no, that her contract clearly stipulated that the majority of her income, what they were being paid, was going to come from the theatrical release, and she made them promise in writing that it was only going to be released in box offices, that this was not going to be a simultaneous streaming release. And Disney decided to just do whatever they wanted, and there's a war of words going back here, and some of this is just very disingenuous on Disney's part. They're saying, look, we made a pledge to release movies the same day because of COVID, and Scarlett Johansson is being very callous and disregarding this horrible, prolonged pandemic and really laying on the guilt trip. And Johansson's lawyers are like, look, that's BS. All of that is complete and total BS. They're trying to, boost their stocks. They're trying to increase their subscribers and get a lot more money than they otherwise would have. And that they are violating a clearly written contract with Scarlett Johansson so that they don't have to pay her as much. You know what I mean? And then Scarlett Jo's coming back, or rather Disney's coming back and saying, well, she's getting extra money thanks to the simultaneous release. She's getting more money than the $20 million we paid her up front than she would have anyway, so we don't know what she's complaining about. She's complaining about you broke her contract completely, and if she knew that you were going to be bringing in all these other extra millions of dollars and boosting your shares like that, she needs her cut. You can't just
Yeah.
do that to your A-list celebrities out there. And I feel like the fact that she's a female actress too is Disney, I think, is trying to stomp on her. I mean, I could just get that sense. I don't know that that's exactly it,
Well,
but
I'll say this.
It's still, I think, yeah.
I'll
do you
say
think?
Disney has the right to break every bone in Black Widow's body when she falls down to retrieve the Soul Stone, but they cannot break a contract, and that's the key.
Right.
They got this in writing, and it's very. It seems at this time seems like a hard case for Disney to fight. It appears that they are in the wrong. So it's going to be interesting to see how this proceeds and how this may or will affect other, not only MCU movies that are going to be released soon, either both simultaneously or kind of, a 45-day delay like other studios are doing, or not only how is it going to impact the MCU, but also other movies, every Disney movie out there. Are the actors going to have stipulations to have it released early so they can get a certain percentage of the box office? Or is Disney just going to say, you know what, anybody who wants to be in our movies, you have to agree that same day simultaneous release online and in theaters, it's just going to happen, and you have to accept that to work with us. I think that may be the potential.
The gall, the nerve to be like, they probably didn't get what they wanted on the front end with Scarlett, so they were just going to do whatever they wanted on the back end. And that's low, Disney. Come on now. Come on. You can do better. We can do better than that. But it begs the question, James, and we've talked about this a lot, this is a whole new world now with the streaming services and the simultaneous releases, and how is that going to change the future of movie going? And there are a lot of people who don't want to see this happen, or if it does, it needs to be very clearly stipulated in writing how people like Scarlett Jo are going to get their cut. It's not that clear right now. So I was wondering if you had any thoughts on that.
Well, I do have mixed opinions, because it's funny. Last week, I actually wanted, for the Hub on Hollywood, I wanted to review the new G.I. Joe origin movie, Snake Eyes, and for some reason, I was under the assumption that the movie was going to be released the same day that it released in theaters online, and that's not the case. That movie theater, I believe, I'm blanking on the studio that made G.I. Joe, or Snake Eyes, but they're doing the 45-wait delay, having it have its run in theaters for 45 days and then put it on a streaming service. And at this point, I at this point, I love the movie theater experience, and I can't wait to go back, and I have had the chance to go back, but life gets pretty hard, and the benefit of having movies streamed online is you're already home, you can stream it on your couch. And so I have a love-hate relationship with the early release and the delay release. And so I don't know, but for this one, I did watch Black Widow on Disney Plus, pay the $30 premium access price, and I enjoyed it. You are able to watch it repeatedly for as many times as you want afterwards, so that's a bonus than going to the theater. So I don't know. This is the first, and maybe not the first, but this is among the first instances of many that we're going to see heads butting, studios and actors and these online distributors.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be the last that we see of this kind of back and forth, of this kind of butting heads, like you said, but it's definitely one of the more high-profile ones that we've seen so far. And, I gotta admit, I think Scarlett Jo has a slam dunk case here. Disney can't just be allowed to do this, you know what I mean?
They can't keep getting away with this.
No, they have enough of everybody's money. Like, they need to play by the rules, okay? They need to play by the rules. Just because you're like some mega monopoly and you own all of us anyways, like, you still gotta play by the rules, okay? You can't just do whatever you want. So we'll see what comes of it. But I think it's a real dirty play to be like, oh, how dare Scarlett do this? We're just trying to do what's right by COVID. Like, that's so disingenuous. So we'll see what happens from here. But I'm 100% Scarlett Jo camp.
Speaking of mega monopolies, the next movie that we're going to review on the Hub on Hollywood was brought to you by one of those, that being Disney Plus. How appropriate is that?
Yeah. No way! way.
No way. And so, that this is the thing where I'm kind of back and forth. Is Jungle Cruise came out in theaters on Friday, I believe, and it also came out on Disney Plus Premium Access, and that's how I watched it. I watched it not too long ago, actually. So the movie is still fresh in my mind, and so that was very advantageous. So that's my last point on the whole streaming early and whatnot. But Jungle Cruise, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Emily Blunt, and Jack Whitehall.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Paul Giamatti is also in this movie. But this is set in 1912 and is based off the Disneyland ride, the Jungle Cruise. This stars Emily Blunt. She plays Dr. Lily Houghton. She and her brother, McGregor, played by Jack Whitehall, they hire a dad joke-telling Amazon River expert named Frank Wolf, played by, of course, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, in search for an ancient tree that holds the power to heal and which could change the future of medicine. And overall, I won't give any spoilers because this is a very family-friendly movie to watch, and so if you and Nikki want to watch this, I don't want to spoil anything, but I will say that this is a really fun movie. Emily Blunt, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, they're full of charisma. Their chemistry together is perfect. They're a very fun pair to watch as they're running and sailing through, or powerboating rather, through the Amazon River and fighting all these different animals and beings. But I think it's a really good movie. Jack Whitehall, he's a good character relief, or a comedic relief character. He joins the three of them. The three of them are on this mission. His character is a gay character, so that's one other aspect that's talked about this movie, saying that people are saying that he's the first boldly or openly gay character that Disney has put in their movies. I don't necessarily think that's necessarily true, because we've had other gay characters, but this one may be, you could argue, the most prominent gay character. But they kind of dance around the whole topic a little bit. But either way, it is a fun movie. Where I do think it kind of suffers is that I think it's trying to be too much of like Pirates of the Caribbean, which is also based on a Disney ride, but in the sense of they're trying to build a franchise. Then you can kind of see them trying to leave Easter eggs or kind of like clues as to, the story can go down this path if we had a sequel or a third or a trilogy or whatnot. There are really good action scenes. I would say the first and the second acts are very fast paced. The CGI, the animation's really great. Again, the action's on par to some of the other Disney swashbuckling movies that we've seen. But I think the third act, it kind of it doesn't live up to the rest of the movie. I feel at the very end it kind of got really CGI heavy, and you're just running into one CGI location into another, and you have characters flying and being thrown into the air, and it's very large scene settings or set scenes, and I think that's where it kind of loses it or gets a little rocky. But overall, I do think it is a really fun, again, family-friendly movie that I think the kids will enjoy. I think the parents will also enjoy, because there are some good jokes and humor in this as well. And overall, I think it works, though with some minor critiques.
Do you feel like it's very Jumanji-esque? Because I feel like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has been doing a lot of the same movie lately.
Yeah, it seems like it for sure. I wouldn't. It's as family friendly as I would say Jumanji is, maybe a little more family friendly. Well, actually, no, I take that back. I would say it's a little more edgier than the Jumanji remake. But I don't know. I think this is a good role. It's not too close to the Jumanji film. It's good enough. To be by itself. So overall, would I recommend it to watch it now? It's on Disney Plus Premier Access, $30. I think it's worth it if you have a family and you have some, if you want to make a night of it and have something to distract the kids and have fun with. It's very fast paced. It moves very well, I think. So I think it'll keep their attention. Yeah. So that's my review. I wouldn't say it's the best rock movie out there, but it's really nice.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, it could be worth the $30, but my problem with paying the $30 is that's like the price of going to the movies and getting the popcorn and the drinks, and then you're buying the movie and then you have to make your own popcorn and get your own drinks and stuff like that. I want it made for me, okay? It tastes better when someone else makes it. Or maybe that's just because I can't cook. But still, and then that leads us into Mr. James, we want to get people on screen, right?
That's right. You could be dancing and punching snakes and tigers and lions with The Rock if you get cast. Who knows?
Just to name a few, we've got the Spirited Ryan Reynolds Will Ferrell musical. We've got a Julia Childs television biopic show. We've got a Whitney Houston one that's casting now. We've got just so many films and television shows that are shooting in and around the New England region right now. So I'm going to start with a feature film is looking for a male stadium announcer. If you can call out like a big sporting event like baseball or soccer, it's like, now betting James Rojas. If
That's
you're
pretty
good at that, thank you. They're looking for you. It pays about $1,000. They want you to send a voiceover demo, headshot, and resume to Boston Casting Headshot and Resume at gmail.com. All of that.
Boston Casting also looking for vintage cars for a TV series. They're looking for cars built between 1950 and 1962. If you have an Oldsmobile that meets that description, send a photo, make, year, model, color of the car, your contact information. Send all of that to Boston Casting Submit 3, the number 3. Boston Casting Submit 3 at gmail.com. This is a paid opportunity. Doesn't say quite how much they're paying, but you can bet if they are filming a TV series, your car is going to be popping up more than likely in several episodes.
Nice. Boston Casting is also looking for young African American girls, twins or triplets between the ages of 4 and 6 for a feature film. That's probably for the Whitney Houston biopic. So you're going to want to send headshots, resumes, and pictures to Boston Casting Headshot and Resume.com for that opportunities if you have twin or triplet girls age 4 to 6.
All right, we have a casting notice for Chili. This is being done through Apple Studios. This is shooting August 16th through August 19th in Weymouth. Boston Casting looking for background actors with the ability to ice skate. This is general ice skating, so we're not looking for,
Cool.
twirls or spins or dips or what have you. This is general ice skating that you would normally do at a public rink. If you can ice skate, and if you are a SAG-AFTRA ice skater, a SAG-AFTRA member, you can send your information to bostoncasting.chilibg@gmail.com.
Okay. Let's see what else we've got going on here. There's just a general casting notice call also for Chili. That is the musical. So you're going to want to sign up with Boston Casting for that. And that's our list this week, James. There's always something coming in. So that's why you have to stay with us, the Hub on Hollywood, because we will bring those opportunities to you. And who knows, maybe one day you can hang out with me, hang out with you one day on the
or you can
do
hang
some
out
background.
or you can hang out with Dave Bautista.
That's right.
He's been in so many things recently. Most recently, Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, which was a Netflix exclusive. He, of course, was in Blade Runner with Ryan Gosling. A recent interview with IGN, he wanted them to know that Guardians of the Galaxy really changed his life for the better after he was cast as Drax. He goes, for people to really understand how much my life has changed, they would have to understand where I came from, what I went through when I was wrestling, what I left behind to take a chance on going into acting. So apparently in Guardians of the Galaxy, he barely worked in 3 years. He said, I'd really left wrestling behind and I could have gone back with my tail between my legs, but I still would have been just stuck in a place that I never would have gone any further, but I just took a chance. And when I got cast, not only because I was broke, everything changed. When I was broke, my house was foreclosed. I had nothing. I sold all my stuff. I sold everything I made from wrestling. I had issues with the IRS and he lost everything. But Drax changed his career and changed the trajectory of his life. And so he loves that role, and obviously what it was able to do for him and his career and his family. So I think that's really cool. Just, you know, a role that so out of nowhere, so out of the blue, and quite an interesting role of that, you know, can really change someone's life.
Right. Absolutely. I had no idea. That he was in such a spot. And so that's just fantastic. And he never gave up. He never gave up his dreams. And, you know, he pushed it to the last moment, and he got it. You know, he got that opportunity that changed his life forever. So good for him. He sounds like a really great guy. And we wish him all the best because he's just a fantastic actor.
Yeah, and from what I understand, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 it may be the last time he plays Drax. So hopefully in that movie he's able to, you know, kick some real butt, show off, and you know, show where why he really got that nickname, the Destroyer.
And so so he was saying that he was, you know, very grateful for the character, but also a little bit disappointed with the trajectory of the character. Is that
least
right?
He wasn't able to show off the Destroyer part of his name. So it's Drax the Destroyer. He doesn't feel that the movies that he was in, shows him, you know, kicking butt and taking names, but it didn't show the extent of what Drax is capable of. And so that's one thing that I guess he regretted.
Well, here's hoping for a spin-off. If he keeps pushing for it, you know, he might get his own little Drax the Destroyer spin-off there. You never know. Marvel is looking for content to last for the rest of eternity, so...
Yeah, but right now Batista, he's in Greece with Rian Johnson filming Knives Out 2.
That's fabulous. Yeah, so there's plenty for him to do even without Drax. He has expanded. He is now in demand. And that's fabulous that he's hanging out with my BFF Ryan Johnson out there. Cannot wait for Knives Out 2. Because the first was just so fantastic, especially with me in it. You know, James. So I'm just waiting for that call to head on back out to Greece. It'll probably be like next week or something like that.
Yeah. So we'll try.
No delusions. No delusions here, right?
No delusions. Well, let's just wrap up this show with this look at House of Gucci, starring your boyfriend, Adam Driver.
Yeah.
And Lady Gaga.
Starring my boyfriend, Adam. Lady Gaga, who's a phenomenal actress, as we saw in her last flick with
Bradley Cooper, who plays
with Bradley Cooper,
Rocket Raccoon.
It all ties together. It's such an incestuous business, James. But A Star is Born, that's right. So she was phenomenal in A Star is Born besides Bradley Cooper. She seems to be like a method actress. Like, she really gets into the role. She really becomes that person. And it looks like she's done it again in The House of Gucci. So for those of you who don't know, The House of Gucci is it's about a true story of the turbulent marriage and divorce between Patrizia and Maurizio Gucci, who is the head of the Gucci fashion house, which leads to murder and all kinds of mayhem. This is coming out November 24th. They've been filming in Italy. And why don't we go ahead and watch this, if you're ready, James?
Okay. Yeah, we're dealing with a bit of a delay, so we're going to try to see how well this works. But I'm ready on the count of 3. On 1, 2, and 3.
It was a name that sounded so sweet, so seductive. Synonymous with worth, style.
It's very glamorous. Adam just looks amazing. If you look at the pictures of the real people,
does he?
They made them look really good. They made them look really like the real people in real life.
His name is in the history books.
Paolo, You are Gucci. You need to dress the
You are
part.
Is that
Gucci.
Christopher Walken?
Jared Leto. Jeremy
nice.
Irons. Selma Hayek is in this also. Al Pacino, of course.
Gucci needs new blood. It's time to take out the trash.
They're my family.
So am I.
You picked a real firecracker.
She's a handful.
Bravo.
So they filmed this during the pandemic.
They did. In Italy.
Betrayal, sex, loyalty, scandal, ambition is all coming down to murder.
Murder.
I don't consider myself to be a particularly ethical person, but I am fair.
I love Lady Gaga so much. She just looks phenomenal in this.
So I actually don't know the history of the what's his name? Gucci, Mr. Gucci. What is it? I don't even know.
Maurizio Gucci. He was the head
Okay.
of the Gucci family, the head of the Gucci fashion house, and spoiler alert: his wife murders him. And this is the movie of the true story of all of that
Well,
that happened.
that truly was
so.
a spoiler because I knew nothing of the history. I know Gucci, the name, again the fashion products, but I know nothing of the person or his life or anything like that. So, yeah, thanks for the spoiler
Sorry.
warning. I'm kidding. I'm really kidding. If it's in history, then that's I don't consider it
Yeah, it's
spoilers.
in
Ruining
history.
stuff like that. I don't know. I'm digging it. I guess.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. I know that in LA, isn't that an expression? Everybody's like, "Oh, that's so Gucci. Oh, that's Gucci."
So
you
that's
know?
more popular in Northern California. So yeah, so I never heard of it,
Oh, yeah?
but yeah, somebody would say like, oh yeah, that's Gucci, or taking a selfie or a group photo. They'll say Gucci, and it's like, okay, I guess that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is going to be great. This is the true story of that, and I think it looks great. Director Ridley Scott. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's coming out in around Thanksgiving time.
All right. Well, let us know. Do you
I
say
just want to see
Gucci
Adam
when you take
Driver
a selfie?
skiing.
You just want to see him skiing, and he's wearing a sweater like Chris Evans was in Knives Out. Very similar sweater. Connection? Coincidence? I think not.
I think not. Okay.
All right,
Anything
well,
else
let us
that you're
know.
watching,
do you
James?
plan? No, I just finished watching Jungle Cruise. Other than that, I rewatched Mission Impossible Fallout with Henry Cavill, Tom Cruise. It's a really good Mission Impossible movie. So I showed it to my girlfriend yesterday. So I think she enjoyed the action parts, the story, the plot.
Yeah.
Very convoluted, very
Yeah.
confusing. But you don't watch a Tom Cruise movie for the plot. You watch it for the action and the god that Tom Cruise is, jumping over buildings with broken feet and whatnot, and flying helicopters.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are you watching?
Exactly. Well, so my son was watching a funny video. There's this YouTube channel called Oversimplified, where they kind of oversimplify stories in history, and he got obsessed with King Henry VIII. After watching one of the oversimplified King Henry VIII videos, and now I'm watching this British documentary on Netflix called The Private Lives of the Tudors, all about the dynasty of King Henry VIII, and it's really interesting. It's really
Nice.
cool. Like from every aspect of their lives to, from the glamorous to the royal butt wiper. Like it's so cool.
Excellent.
So I recommend that. It's called The Private Lives of the Tudors, and that's what my husband and I are watching right now. But what are you guys watching?
All right.
Are you excited for House of Gucci? Are you on Scarlett Johansson's side? Are you on Disney's side as far as the lawsuit goes? What do you know?
Are you ready to ride with The Rock on the Jungle Cruise? Let us know. What do you think?
Yeah, tell us no. Let us know what you think. And until next time. I'm Jamie.
I'm James. Bye.